Yo, what is up, everyone?
Here.
We are back. Last week we took a snow day because it was snowy out. So
Oh, dude, the Northeast sucked last week, bro.
I'm gonna be on the unpopular side, but I love the snow, so I enjoyed it.
Well, I like the snow, bro, but I mean, with the job that I have now, it's my job because you live in an apartment. Oh yeah, they're gonna clear the snow. Well, I'm that guy. That's me. So.
Anyway, so we're back this week, and with us, our guest today is our new friend Kevin from Andorra.
Hello, what's going on?
And as usual, we got Dusty in the corner here.
What's up? It's good
and
to be here.
Mr. Nick behind the glass.
What's up, guys? What's up?
So, Kevin, man, thanks for coming out and taking the time to come out here and
Yeah,
talk a little music with us. And
Sure, yeah,
really
thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
I said, thanks for coming, because wasn't it like 2 or 3 weeks we were trying to get him on?
I
but
think
it's
so.
The snow and
Yeah.
just other crap, and
Exactly.
so now we finally got him on.
So do you have any Instagram plugs for the band yourself that you kind of
Just
want to
right off the rip.
right off the rip? You
Yeah,
want to
because
tell our
Some of these people
fellow
only listen to the
listeners.
first 5 minutes just
Okay.
to be nice.
Well,
and
yeah,
friends
there you go.
with
That's
me.
Andorra_music is our Instagram. We've been on like a 1 week posting kind of routine, so we're I don't know. It's all about music, man. I'm not trying to be like an Instagram
person.
influencer.
Influencer.
Personality influencer, whatever the term is. It's just I post when I have something to post. If it's
Gotcha.
high quality enough, it's going up there.
So you
but-
didn't follow like everyone else, where it's like all the other band people became content creators. You were, nah.
yeah,
I'm still the music. man.
Yeah,
I respect that.
Yeah,
So do
I respect that.
Right.
That's how I would be, honestly.
yeah. All the bands in COVID seemed to like start a podcast. Not to hate on you guys or anything, but that's exactly what happened.
You're not wrong.
Here we are.
You're not wrong.
Not at all. I mean, when you got free time, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else are you doing? And like when we have access to this amazing studio at SeaPanther Studios,
Yes,
when you
that's
have
true.
access to that,
Of course, why not?
yeah, like why the hell not?
I would if I had the gear, right?
Yeah, exactly. So let's just kick it right off, man. So how did Andorra come about?
Yeah, I love origin stories, bro.
Yeah.
So do I.
Basically just like a grade school recess conversation between myself and my drummer, Jordan Trellis. Just kind of were the only kids in Catholic school that were like, yeah, we want to rock instead of play sports. So that's what happened.
Damn. So this
Yeah.
this started way back in the day.
Oh yeah. This band's been 10 years in the making.
Wow.
Oh, you're kidding?
No,
It's one
yeah.
of those stories.
Yeah, we've kind of recently started celebrating that, and we're in the middle of producing a 2-part mini documentary about just the band and the rotating cast of people that have kind of come and gone
shit.
over the years. And with that, there's some breakups, some trial and tribulation, but we've kind of been through it all, and we want to just share a little bit of that with some of the people in our circle that will be like, yeah, I remember when Nick Malfarrell was in the band. I remember when Sam was. So it's a lot of that. And we just interviewed 2 of our guitar players who we kind of had nastier falling outs with. So it was nice to kind of circle back to them and be like, hey, what's going on after all these years? And kind of make amends and build back those bridges that were burnt.
I was about to say, so that's interesting. So you had 2 members that aren't in the band now.
Yeah.
That when the split, you described it as nasty, and they agreed to talk on this
Yeah, 'cause-
documentary.
Yeah, well, when you're like 17, 18, you're like, you think you're the shit. And then you kind of look back and you're like, damn, I was very immature back then.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's-
17-year-old Justin was not the
Right,
shit.
yeah, and it's same with me. So, you get that in almost every band, I think, and it's going to be the type of story that is going to be pretty familiar to most. So,
What's going to resonate?
yeah,
I mean,
of
that's-
course,
yeah.
but it's our story, and we just want to share it with everybody, and hope you all like it.
Dude, that's sick. I
That
went on
is cool.
VHS.
It'll be on VH1 too.
Yeah, Betamax, man.
No, that's cool. I mean, you don't get a lot of bands doing that kind of stuff in the first place. And like I always like to. I love seeing the behind the scenes look on everything that bands do.
Behind the scenes stuff, man.
Always.
I love that.
It's interesting. You're seeing how these people's minds work in certain ways, especially like recording albums and all. Like I eat it up, man. Like I want to see it. So like something like this, and especially like piggyback on what Justin said, having someone 2 ex-band members with a nasty breakup come in and kind of make amends with everything. Like
I mean, that's just
cool.
interesting.
That doesn't
Even
happen
just,
a lot.
Yeah, that's just interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially this
And we
day
were
and
kind of all in our feels yesterday. The guy his name's Nick Malfera. He was like such an important person to me in my life. He introduced me to my fiance, so I was like, I have to. And even before the other day when we did the sit down interview, we were roommates at a certain point, so we were cool, but we never really got to flesh it out. Like just talk about why he left the band and what it really was that made us part and butt heads and all of that, and kind of got to hear his side for the first time, and we kind of just sat and listened to records and watched the news basically.
Oh my god,
that's
so
cool.
I feel like I need to have that talk with Brandon about make shit.
We'll gotta bring. He's itching to come on one day.
You gotta ask him. So like when I took that swing at you, what went through your?
So
Brandon, I love you. I'm kidding.
Without getting too like deep into like the details and whatnot, I mean, did it kind of cancel out some friendships in that sense, or was it just like, separated from the band itself and we continued on with your lives?
Yeah, I guess I have to say my relationship with Nick was very. We were like homies. We were really tight, and like I said, introduced me to my fiance. We like toured together. We were in each other's space almost every day, and then not seeing that person for so long, it's like, damn, like I really missed him, and it wasn't like, and we even share like the same sense of humor.
Yeah.
So he would say things, and it would crack me up, and I'd be like, wow, like that's why I think that's so funny, is because he influenced me in that way, and it was like him just saying titties, and I was like, that's I get it, I get that joke. Nobody else gets that.
Damn, no, that's cool, man. That's pretty wholesome.
I'm like, that's so interesting. I can't. Do you have like a release for this or an ETA or?
Yeah, we have a couple more things to film. We're gonna do like a round table with the current lineup, and then maybe one more round of interviews with me personally, because after talking to all these guys, it's like, damn, I think I have more to say about that, and I kind of want to
get it out,
circle it back and bring it back home to what my thoughts are.
Are you the only consistent member of this project, or has anyone been in it since the get go with you? Or
yeah, me and Jordan started this from the beginning. And Michael, our bass player, was kind of always there. He should have been. It was a huge mistake not having him in the band for as long as we have. He joined the band kind of around college, but we grew up as neighbors, and he was always over, just jamming, kind of fleshing out ideas with me.
He was part of the band.
He was in the band, but it wasn't official.
The official member, that
Yeah.
official member status.
Right.
Is so,
You're in.
Kind of like Patty in the beginning.
Session member, official member.
Yeah.
The paycheck's different.
Right. Yeah. It was a lot of that. It was like, he sat in, played bass for a show, and then he left, and then we had 20 other bass players. It was like, what the hell? And we don't interview all of the bass players either.
Bass
yeah,
players?
dude, it's a difficult.
No one plays
task,
bass.
Right? I know. But we did. We had a pretty big cast of different bass players for a while, and
do you have all 20 bass players? In this
realistically, it's probably like 5. But some were just like kind of there to tour with us. Some were just there to be in the music video. Some were just there to.
Man, sometimes you go and you fill the role that's asked, and man, that's still cool though.
Oh, that's dope. How many different rotating members have you had altogether?
I have to count. It is a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Certainly 5 bass players, maybe 4 guitar players. But the lineup that we have right now, it's myself, Jordan, Dante, and Michael, and that lineup has been consistent for about 4 or 5 years right now. So
okay.
So yeah. So this band has been together from like early grade school years to post college years. I'm 2-3 years out of college now. So that's as long as we've been working this thing. So
I give you props, Joe. And I said this before, longevity is hard.
Oh, yeah.
So I give you props for that.
Yeah, I mean, something like that for 10 years, it's hard. It definitely is. Yeah, straight up. But all right, so we've been going back and forth for a couple weeks trying to get you guys in, and it's been ringing in my head, and I just need to know, what is Andorra?
Yeah, so a part of this circle of friends that we created over the years, we had a really close homie that lived in a little city suburb called Andorra. So we kind of just were
it's
like,
a town.
It's a little town. Yeah.
Got it.
Most good band names come from like a town or a street. So like, there it is. And it's like Philly based. If you're from Philly, you're like, oh, Andorra. Yeah, I know. It's like in between Roxborough and East Falls and Manayunk. It's in that kind of little circle.
Stupid,
You might know. You're from Manayunk. Yeah, it's got like a Mickey D's golden arch and then like a black and white sign that says Andorra. So it's kind of iconic if you're coming and going.
Oh, man, okay, that's dope. I'm not really from the area, so
I got it.
That, just went right over my head.
Yeah.
But,
and I'm not a purebred Philly. I'm like that, like half and half. I'm like South Jersey Philly. I have it all, and I'm just still mad at myself that I didn't get it.
Didn't get it. It's all right. It's also a country. It's a lot of things.
That's cool.
Yeah. So the outline of the country is actually the same shape as the city suburb. That's why they named it Andorra. It's like the same kind of outline. Yeah.
Huh.
Shape.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is kind of
I know a lot of random
neat,
facts about Andorra.
Well, it's just like, we're the somethings. Like, oh, where'd you get that?
Shapes?
Yeah, shapes.
Next town over. No, that's cool, man. Damn. So, you've been in the Philly scene for quite a while at this point, right?
Yeah.
So how would you kind of describe your experience with the Philly scene and almost like what it means to you guys in general?
Yeah, I've heard positive and negative. What do you got?
I love playing music in Philly. I've born and raised in Philadelphia, and I think there's just so many opportunities for local acts like myself and the band. From like 104.5, which is a national radio station. They have a program on Friday afternoons called Live at 5 where bands can come in and play on the radio, which is like,
awesome.
who else does that, WXPN is an awesome radio station. Free at Noons are like a go-to thing for college kids in town.
Have you played on those before?
No, I haven't, but, like the opportunity is there, right? Like, I don't think you can go to New York and be like, hey, let me play on this radio station's stage and then also be broadcasted on air. You don't get that really anywhere. And I think if you make it in Philly, you can really make it anywhere because we have a pretty tough exterior.
Dude, I'm not going to argue with that.
Bro. We can boo you out of the building, but like if you have like the gall to withstand that, you're going to make it really anywhere. So, I really do believe that. And there's just plenty of opportunities, plenty of venues. If you go down like one of the strips in Fishtown, there's Ortlieb's, there's Kung Fu Necktie, there's the Barbary right across from the Fillmore, right?
I love Fishtown. So.
And even in Manayunk, there's Grape Room, there's the Locks, there's
the Grape Room's right off Main Street, ain't it?
Yeah, that's my baby, that venue. I love that spot.
Yeah.
So like you just said the Grapefruit, but like, what is one of your favorite venues to play besides there?
Dude, it is the Grape Room.
That's a tough question.
It's the Grape Room. Yeah.
Taking the crown.
Yeah. I'm from East Falls. I live right up the street from Manayunk, so it's a stone's throw away. I host the open mic there. I was doing a lot of the booking there at one point.
Gnarly.
So I love that spot. I love Scooter. He's the owner and does the beer orders and does live sound, and then wears a lot of different hats there, and he shares the hat with me sometimes. So
cool.
I'm super grateful for that place.
Oh shit, man!
So like growing up, man, were you pretty involved in like the scene itself and always going to these things, or it kind of just fell into place as you got older?
Yeah. So I guess I'll have to backtrack a little bit. I wasn't raised in Philadelphia. I was born in Philadelphia, moved to the suburbs for some school districts and stuff.
Same
Same thing. You also said you were from Philly. You didn't get the Philly reference.
I know. I'm ashamed.
Yeah. No. Just kidding. So, dude, there's nothing to do in the suburbia of Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, well, there's nothing to do in suburbs around here.
I don't think so. When I was driving through, I was like, "What the fuck do these guys
around here? You live here. That's what you do.
Right?
You live here.
So
exactly.
And I always make the joke like kids were either getting stoned, Jordan sports, or starting rock and roll bands, and
all the above.
And yeah, exactly. That's a little bit of everybody's story. So, we just found that group of kids that wanted to play, and there wasn't really much for us to do. One of our original bass players, his name was Chris Janowski. His dad owned a bar around the corner from us, and sort of the only spot that local music was happening. So if it wasn't happening there, we had to go and make it ourselves. And
it's just awesome to have a place to play.
Yeah.
Especially like younger.
And it was a bar, so it was like more of an open mic thing. And they were like, well, you got to get in by 8, and then you got to leave. So it was a little bit of that, but more or less we had to create like a scene, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I like saying community better than scene, but so community of, bands that just wanted to come and play, and we were all like 16, 17, rocking in this little church in Ambler that let us kind of use their altar as the stage, and that's what we did, and we hosted little DIY shows until I realized, like, can I do this for a living? Maybe.
Maybe.
And then, just kind of started to do my best to make this like a livelihood for myself, and then go to school for it. Went to University of the Arts for their music industry program,
Nice.
and then everything I learned through that was just kind of guinea pig back into the band. Like, hey, I learned this in class. Let's try this out. Or I heard if you do this, then maybe you can get this opportunity. So, that's kind of
Bro,
where
you
I am
can
right
never
now.
shortchange knowledge, man.
Yeah,
Especially in something that you actually genuinely give a fuck about.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Like, all these kids in high school, a lot of the band members that I had weren't in the same high school as me, except for Michael. But we were kind of on different pages at that point in our life. But everybody was going to school for either like music performance or accounting or business or whatever. And I was like, I don't want to do any of that stuff. What is there for me? And luckily, I found UArts and their music industry program, and I'm in love with rock and roll and just music and event planning and all of that. So I needed it to be my life day to day.
Yeah.
So if you're not playing the music, you would want, like, the other thing you would want to do is like promotion and booking.
Oh yeah, and that's what I do,
And that's
kind
what
of
you
as
do?
a part-time job right now. So yeah, booking and promotions and management even is something that I like to do. So
Well, and I don't want to do the COVID conversation because we're so far past that. But is that starting to pick up now a little bit more? I've just felt recently that things are starting to open a little bit. So that's why.
Yeah.
The place going back 50% capacity.
Yeah, like I feel like it's the start of.
This is the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes, it's different state to state. Certainly not in like a live show or national setting, but I got a lot of work with some promotion efforts with some artists that were just releasing music. I guess
nice.
COVID, a lot of people had time to just bunker down and record and write music, get it out there, and then it's my job to sort of take it to a couple of different press outlets and see what I can do with it.
Right.
And I learned all of that just by watching and doing it on my own for my own band, and then just networking and meeting people and making connections. And these people just know me sometimes, it's sometimes just like, hey, do me that favor, right? Okay, yeah. So it's a little bit of that, and then a little bit of it's pulling teeth, but it's fun. I wouldn't want it any other way.
It's a passion,
That's awesome.
right?
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
I can feel it. I can feel that you like just genuinely like.
That's what I do.
What you're doing.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying like everyone we've had. It's like I'm not calling bullshit. Like we've had like genuine artists, but like sometimes you can call bullshit.
Yeah.
But nah, man, I feel it radiating off you.
Thanks.
Dude.
Yeah,
I feel it.
a little smell back here.
How was your experience at UArts? I had a good friend of mine, Jimmy. He went to UArts, and he
Sex Office Jimmy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
did
absolutely
Oh,
loved
yeah.
it, man. He fucking loved it, and
He was a performance major, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jimmy Bart. Yeah, you know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Oh yeah, he knows the Dead Flowers.
Oh shit.
He was asking me about the Dead Flowers coming in. I said I wasn't on that episode, but yeah,
I love the Death Flowers.
Yeah, I knew Zach from like back in the day. At one point we were in this like random little metalcore band that did nothing, but yeah, that's how I met him. And then a couple of years later, we never went to school together, but a couple of years later, I saw something on Facebook about the Dead Flowers, and I was like, this guy looks familiar, and it ended up being Zach.
And then I knew Mike Perry.
Yes.
Perry, the other guitarist of the Dead Flowers.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was asking him if he knew Breaklight and John, and he's like, I know of them. But it's still like, damn, small world. Like it's there. Like that community is out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everyone pretty much knows everyone, or at least knows of
He
everyone.
knows of.
Yeah.
You don't know, like,
Which is cool, and I'm an outside, I'm on the outside looking in because I'm not involved in any music, but like it's cool, man. It's cool to see like all these bands, like everyone knows each other, and for the most part, like everyone's pretty supportive. They're like, oh yeah, like that band, so like they're good dudes, or they rip, or like whatever, like, and it's just cool to see.
No one who's come in here has shit on another band.
Not one person.
Not one. No, like
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Good.
it's been
Yeah,
great.
it's great. Yeah.
Like even if they barely know them, they're just like, yeah, it's just it's cool to see, and it's it warms my little heart because that's kind of the reason why we do this, and it's like
It does. It's
know?
nice to just, no one really seems to have an ego anymore. I think that whole thing went out the door because it's like if you have it, no one's going to want to work with you.
Exactly.
And you're going to get that rep pretty quick.
Exactly.
So like for Philly and in Jersey, it's 7 degrees of separation all the time anywhere, but to an even lesser degree because even like the older generation of talent buyers and promotions guys, like they all know each other too. So it's like you can't say anything bad about anybody because everybody knows each other and they'll know that you're saying something about them, right?
Is what you're saying.
It's just
Everyone actually hates one another.
Very well could be the case, but it's just like I'd rather put my arm around somebody than like give them the finger, right? Like
it's all
it's
up,
better
man.
to have beers and get drunk with your buddies than hate on people.
Exactly.
Better to have beers and fights.
I mean, I'll fight them too,
Sometimes it leads to that if need be.
So, kind of piggybacking off of the annoying COVID situation.
Yeah, what was the question? What was
I
it?
told him we were not going
It's
to talk
just
about
one
it.
question.
Oh.
It's just one question. You guys cooking anything up? In the meantime, I know you guys just released Family Tree
All right,
in
see, the
2019.
thing is, no, you're a piece of crap because you
Why?
didn't have to answer. You didn't have to ask that question with anything to do with COVID. Kevin, you guys got any plans for 2021? Could have just said it.
Yeah.
Well, I said COVID,
Come on.
so here we are.
I don't even want to answer the question anymore. No. Yeah. Well, the documentary is kind of the big thing that
Is
we're
that the
doing right
big
now.
thing that
Yeah. And then we just released Family Tree, so we were kind of like, let's push off on just bunkering down and going in the studio. This is what everybody's doing. Let's kind of do the little bit of the alternative of that, and that's why we decided to do that. It's been like a passion project of mine for the longest time. I'll tell you what really inspired it. When I proposed to my fiance, there was $500 in cash just laying around in my house, and I was like, where the fuck did this money come from? And I realized that it was cash from a show. Like, we sold tickets, or like, we sold out a room, something like that.
Yeah.
And we just had cash. And I was like, I kind of forgot about this money, and therefore it's just money that I never gained or lost. So I was like, let me just pay off the rest of this ring with this money and then take it from there, and I'll tell the guys later.
There you go.
So my makeup for that is taking care of some of the financial elements of this documentary. So
Respectable.
Yeah. I had to. It was just.
I mean, it's not like
I had
you
to take
sold
that
the
upon
money
myself.
For like, cigarettes.
Yeah.
The
Cocaine.
ring. I mean,
Passion.
yeah, I mean, I get it. It's
Right.
It's
Yeah.
all right.
So
At least you told him, and you probably couldn't have said anything.
yeah,
at
right.
all,
Yeah,
just
and
like,
but it.
Where's the $500?
Yeah, and it wasn't very much like that. I'm like the manager guy, right? Like, kid went to school for all this music management stuff. He has to be responsible for the money. What does he do? He spends it
He buys a
irresponsibly,
ring.
right? So it's a little bit of that, but I had to pay off that ring. I had to pay it off before I gave it to her. Like,
I think you had to do what you had to do, and you made a tough decision.
yeah. I'm not losing sleep over it.
that's right. You got a fiance out of it.
Right.
So like going back to the Family Tree, where'd you guys like record that album?
Yeah, so Family Tree was tracked and recorded in Michael Tricecki's family's basement, little home studio there.
Oh, nice.
It was the first time we independently, produced something on our own. It was one of the more difficult records to write and record because, there isn't that separation of a producer in the room kind of spearheading
So you
the
had,
whole project.
like, virtually no outside help with that. That was just
Yeah,
you
it was
guys.
strictly just us and Michael kind of spearheading the tracking and
Wow.
mixing,
Wow.
and Jordan ended up mastering it. So yeah, it was all independently done.
all in house. Wow.
Hard record to make. With being a band for 10 years, you get like a lot of you get in your head a little bit with, did we do that song already? We wrote a song like that already. We have a bridge like that off the last record. Why are we're going backwards a little bit. What can we do differently? And a lot of the record was written with the intent of every song being different from one another. So there's a really heavy Neil Young influence on one song in particular. David Bowie, Let's Dance kind of vibe on one song, and then every song that surrounds those are rooted in like a rock and roll sense, but Michael sings a song, which is something that we've never done before. We kind of get into like this boogie rock blues stuff. So there's all of these ideas, and like when you're trying to write a funk song and you've never sang as a funk singer before, you're gonna have like an awkward moment in the studio with your bass player where he's like, yeah, you're not singing like a funk singer, you should be singing like a funk singer, light and airy, my man. And I couldn't do it because I'm used to rock and roll singing, right? So for those reasons it was difficult, and there was like a little bit of a pushback on some of those days. And I think like, damn, wow, I was maybe taking that out of context, but hard record to make. Definitely a hard record to write.
But now it's done. It's there. It exists. And I mean,
yeah, and I'm super proud of it. But we couldn't tour it or support it. And
when did that come out? Because on Spotify, at least, it comes up as 2019.
Yeah, 2019. I think October of 2019.
So it was like later in the year.
So we probably gigged it twice, and then the world shut down. Yeah.
Damn.
So for that reason, we weren't like, yeah, let's go into the studio and do it all over again, right? We weren't super excited about the last experience. At least I wasn't, and we just didn't have music ready, right?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you were a little drained at that point. I mean, that was a full length. I mean, how many tracks are in that? 12?
It's shorter. It's a little shorter. I think it's 9 songs, but
I mean, that's a whole.
Yeah, it's a record.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, bands now are releasing singles, dude. You know, like just
yeah.
one
I
song
can't
at a
stand
time.
that. Yeah. Well,
I mean, I'm just following how.
You're supposed to.
Yeah, I'm just kind of following.
It's the algorithm right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's what that's what it is.
And I'm in this position where I'm in like a wave of algorithms on Instagram where national bands will be like, and maybe they're not even national. It's just bands that are boosting their single. They're like, hey, listen to the song. And then I'm like, okay, I kind of dig that. Let me go listen to more of that. And then it's only the single on Spotify. I'm like, I like that. You sparked my interest. Where's the rest of it?
If I were to tell a band who's starting, I release an EP first, gig a little bit, and then you could start doing the single thing. Because you're right. Because one song you want to go back and listen to more, have that little chunk, and then you kind of just throw it back to that. So, but I get that.
Yeah,
if you have one.
That's just me. I want to hear it all. I'm an album guy.
I agree with you. It's weird.
No
and like
shame.
The last, 5+ years, it's kind of morphed into this like single era, and a lot of bands are changing up how they're doing stuff, and they're breaking albums in half and releasing them as 2 EPs, and I feel it, man. Sometimes I just want a big I want a big plate. I want to eat it all at once.
Yeah.
And you just want the whole meal.
The whole meal.
Yeah.
And then, am I greedy about it? Maybe. But that's just how we were kind of all brought up, and
all you're proving is not even though this is the way it's going, we can't deny that, but it still doesn't mean everyone listens to music that way or wants to.
Yeah.
So you're just proving like the guys out there that still want to release LPs and 7 song EPs, like do it.
Yeah,
because I got you. I'm gonna eat.
Either way, I'm trying to eat.
Me hungry.
Because I'm almost 30, dude. I'm a boomer. I'm following the trend and getting used to it. But I mean, if I wasn't making, I would be on like, hey, dude, just give me a fucking album. Like I'd be right there.
Yeah. At this point, I'm a little used to it.
You get used to it a little bit.
You're used to it. Like I said, we're a couple years into this like weird like formula with like the music industry in general. But
what's funny is Less Than Jake called that. Less Than Jake a few years ago said they were gonna, even before that all started, they said they were gonna stop doing LPs and just do EPs and singles. And then all of a sudden, that's where it went. It was pretty weird.
The whole wave. So like, what are some of your guys' biggest influences as a band?
Yeah,
I know it's a tough question. So many.
Yeah. Well, I wear one of my biggest influences literally on my sleeve. I'm a huge Foo Fighter fan, so there's that. But
Dave Grohl's the man.
Yeah,
I think every rock star should. Dave Grohl was like that, like kind of like bass, or like you should take what Dave Grohl does, because he's like one of the nicest dudes like in the fucking world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely true.
So yeah, that's he's my hero through and through. But I grew up with listening to a lot of classic rock, sitting in my dad's pickup truck, just kind of hearing sounds of Led Zeppelin and Bowie and all that good shit. Yeah.
I hear you.
Haven't gotten the lead out in a while.
Yeah.
Neither have I, actually.
I haven't gotten the lead out in a
since
while.
I listened to Led Zeppelin.
And like that music's just timeless, and everything from Carole King to Jimi Hendrix is just like iconic.
When
There's
I
nothing that's better
to your
than that.
guys' I listened to the whole LP, and like I think I even said I got a Chili Peppers vibe. I don't know if that's something I hope that's a compliment.
Yeah, of course.
Like a vibe, not that you said, but I was like, because it is rock, but there's a little kind of, even what you said, a little funky in there,
Yeah.
Little something in there.
Yeah, that goes back to what I was trying to say, at least about every song, you know, we were trying to give it a
different.
theme. Like
Absolutely.
there's a song on the record called Family Tree that's like, this is a Red Hot Chili Pepper song. You know, this is us really wearing our influences on our sleeve, trying to make that song work for us who are traditionally, quote unquote, a hard rock band.
Yeah.
So, you know, we tried our best to get different, but yeah, dude, influences, yeah, Queens of Stone Age, like classic rock, everything through and through. Not too much like modern rock really, but you know, everything from like Rush to Paramore are you know, in our wheelhouse, what we grew up on and what we love.
Haven't rushed in a while either.
So like, what's your take on modern rock? I know it's different.
A weird place.
It is weird. It is weird.
I can
That's
tell
why
he's
wanted
like
to-
he's
that's
like
why I
you're
wanted
like
to
trying to
ask.
be nice.
That's
Like,
why
Yeah.
I wanted to ask.
it's a weird spot. but,
Yeah. Like everything to me feels like it's on the verge of being butt rock, right? But
Artificial
you,
butt rock.
I love
yeah,
that term.
you got to reel it back a little bit. But then on the other flip side of that, I get nothing else is like has balls to it. You know what I mean? Like everything else is like indie rock, right? Like just soft.
It's very cookie cutter.
Yeah, like where's the in between of like the lyrical sensibility of great indie rock songs with guys that aren't afraid to plug in their SG to a Marshall, be like, I'm not afraid to fucking play this power chord, you know? Like there's no in between anymore. And I'm missing that, and I need that. So if you're a band that sounds like that, please let me know. I will listen to that because that's what I'm craving right now. Which is why bands like the Dead Flowers are great. Like lyrical sensibility, awesome. They're not afraid to rock. I've seen Zach play his fucking SG, not his SG, his I'm going like this, and I'm hoping that you'll know what I mean. But
Rock. His rock guitar.
so his rock and roll guitar,
He's playing that rock guitar way too loud.
his flying V.
Yeah.
Who owns a flying V anymore?
No.
Right? Like that dude owns a flying V, owns it on stage, and just owns the whole persona of that. So like see him jumping on and off stage on tables, like that's who nobody does that anymore, and I want more of that.
You said the term they're not afraid to rock. Are people now are moving? Are they afraid? Or what do you mean by? Like,
I personally think that I've seen this happen, and maybe this is the closest you'll get to me shitting on a band.
Nah, man,
but
go
I've
ahead,
seen bands in a live setting that are rocking their songs like I haven't heard before because their recordings are like a lot softer and more tame. Why is it that they can't capture that in a studio setting?
studio.
Right? I don't know. I don't get it. And I've seen like super great bands just not be able to do it on both sides. Like where's the rock and roll esqueness of your music that you're doing live that you're not capturing in a microphone?
Nah, man, you just kind of blew my mind a little bit, to be honest with you. Because it's like I never would have thought of it that way in a million years. So just hearing someone say that, I don't know. That's kind of weird.
No, it's a great point.
You know, where's the rock? I mean, that has been like a question even in mainstream.
Where's the rock?
Where's the rock? Why isn't rock music in the top 10 anymore? Why isn't
Because
rock?
there's a formula to success right now in the mainstream world, in my opinion. I just feel like there's this weird formula of very overproduced, synthetic sounding.
I mean, I'm not shitting on people who make music with computers.
Yeah, no,
but
not at all.
Where are the bands? Like, where on like mainstream radio top 40? Where is it? Why is it just solo artists? Why is it groups that have 1 to 2 members and not? Where's like the band?
6-member bands.
Where is it?
Like that.
Where at least 3 friends, you know, man, woman, whoever, 3, you know, where it's a group.
Yeah.
And they did it together and they came from nothing, and now I do kind of miss that.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
is that?
It's a good question.
But I never thought of it that hard, so now I'm gonna leave this episode sadder than when I was gonna
Say, you do look a little sad.
It's realization, but I love these conversations, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's always good to hear other people talk about it, and like I love hearing other people's opinions on what you hear on the radio nowadays, and like some people like it, some people don't, and that's totally fine either way. But it's very different from where it was 10 to 15 years ago.
Is it? what we're talking about, what we want, is that still marketable? Is it still profitable? Because and I'm not saying that because people are trying to sell out and just make, but people got to eat. So are people not even going to do that because there's just no chance? And that's what I'm getting a little nervous about.
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of what it leans towards, but at the same time, like
for me, it depends on the radio format, right? So like one of my favorite stations is WXPN. I'm a member. Just thought I'd throw that out there. They cover everything from classic rock, what I want to hear, to local bands, right? And they will also throw in like the Lizzo. I think they discovered Lizzo. I heard Lizzo there first before Q102 blew her up. So
it's interesting.
They're open to everything and anything as long as it's good.
Cool.
But yeah, there's just, and they also are just all over the bands that are just,
You're trying to be, and I appreciate it. You're trying to be.
But that's the only way I can.
We're not here shitting on anybody, man. Everyone's taste is different. I feel like there is like a divide, and I don't know.
Just get rid of it.
I wish.
Get rid of the. Yeah, I mean,
I heard that the last rock and roll song that was like marketable, that really wasn't even a rock and roll song, was "Feel It Still" by Portugal the Man. That was the last rock and roll indie rock song that kind of broke through to the mainstream.
What year was that released?
It's going back. Maybe 2018, 2017, something like that.
But I feel like the mainstream still tries to kind of give you, and again, I'm not knocking on it, but like what you're saying is that over-polished stuff, because it's like a rock band to like people who only listen to Q102 Top 40 mainstream would be Maroon 5.
Yes.
And I'm not shitting on Maroon. You can like Maroon 5. I really don't give two shits.
Yeah.
However, Maroon 5, I would probably say, haven't released a rock album since their first or second. They've gone this pop hip, like they've gone this different way where they're not a rock band. They're a band. They're a group.
Yeah.
But that's how, I don't know.
It's weird. It's just
odd,
weird.
And it gets to that point of like the whole like genre thing where like genres are starting to like lose their whole meaning.
Well, what I was gonna get into was for the longest time we called ourselves an alternative rock band because the alternative sort of seemed like the question mark at the end of the phrase rock and roll, right? Like it's whatever we want it to be. It's alternative. Any day of the week we can flip on a dime and then we can be we can break out the acoustic guitar and play songs on an acoustic guitar and be maybe a little bit folkier. But that term, to me, is sort of morphed into, like, white dudes with 808 beats rapping with guitars.
Like Machine Gun Kelly crew. And
stuff
is what.
Yeah. And Machine Gun Kelly is on alternative rock stations now.
Yeah, and then at the same time, they're still playing his one track on Q102 with Black Bear. I don't know the name, off the top of my head, but he kind of got into that weird realm where now he's able to be played everywhere.
Yeah.
He
won,
nailed it. Like he won. Like he figured, whatever he did was.
And he was in the Motley Crue movie.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, wasn't he? Oh crap, he was. Tommy Lee, right?
Yeah, he's Tommy Lee.
And Tommy Lee even said,
it,
Tommy Lee's like, yo, he nailed it. I saw like a thing. He was stoked on his performance.
But
he found the way. That dude found the way. He kind of married all of the missing gaps there.
I mean, whether you like it or don't, like, he did it.
He won.
he won.
I want to win.
That's exactly. You know who else is winning too? Behind this, well, not really behind the scenes, but kind of behind the scenes, is Travis Barker, because he just did another.
Well, Travis Barker has now become a producer for the next generation.
Yeah.
Well, in our generation, he was a drummer.
Exactly.
And then he went and he does a lot in the world of hip hop and rap and stuff. But now he's like, Travis Barker can say without lying, I produced the #1 album because that MGK album went #1.
Yeah.
Travis Barker.
And he might have another one because what's that guy's name? Trippie Redd is a hip hop guy. He's kind of like an alternative. He's kind of like
he did the Mod Sun album too.
Yeah, well, he just put out an album with Travis Barker on most of the tracks, and it's like a rock rap album kind of thing. Not my cup of tea, but it was interesting. It's like blowing up, and I don't know. It's just
everyone better follow suit.
It's just weird. Like it's just weird times. I saw it on the other last Friday, and I was like reading through the comments and like a lot of people were like, yeah, this is fucking rock and roll on
And
his
he's dating a
Instagram.
Kardashian now.
Who?
Travis
Oh,
Barker.
Yeah. He's dating Courtney.
Travis Barker's more relevant than he's ever been.
Exactly.
He's also winning.
There's probably a good.
He's also winning.
Yeah,
Why
that's what I'm
can't we
saying.
win?
There's also probably a good chunk of him that don't even associate him with Blink 182 anymore.
There was an article in my newsfeed and it said, what was it? Kourtney Kardashian. Kourtney Kardashian's new boyfriend, Travis Barker. Who is he?
See, that's what I'm saying, dude. It's getting to that point.
I was like, dude, you might as well just shoot me now.
Wow.
He's barely.
I
known
never
for
would have thought.
Blink-182 anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
I would have never thought he would have been her type.
No.
Travis Barker is actually low key like a very like mainstreamy type of celebrity.
Yeah.
He is. And again, I'm not knocking. I'm never knocking it, but he's not this like, fuck the system punk guy esque that he was marketed at least early in his career.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Which is fine. Man, hey man, you do you. He came from nothing and
Look
bro,
at him now.
killing
He's
it.
winning,
Hey, man.
So
Cool.
right back to it. He's winning.
Sorry, I went off the rails there.
No,
But
you're
it was
good.
just crazy because it just shows you can never stop. Because even like now, you said you went to college, kind of going back to you went to college, learned how to do this. You're still in a band, but you're doing all that other shit where it's like that other shit might be the stuff that pops. And it's like, boom, I've been playing in bands for X amount of years, but I'm known as the booker of this amazing venue, or like I said, Travis Barker as MGK's producer.
Yeah. You just gotta have your fingers in everything.
You just have to be in the right place. Yeah, you have to just stay busy, and if you have to get lucky. I don't care what anyone says, because there's so many talented people that just didn't really get anywhere. You have to be in the right place. You have to have the right person hear it and be like,
Exactly. We're in that day of age where it's like you can go viral for anything at any time.
the kid who yodeled in Walmart and got
Record
a country
deal.
music career. You ever hear that?
He went on a world tour
Yeah.
for that.
He's got the finger guns.
Yeah,
he's
that's
the
his
finger gun
thing. Yeah.
kid.
It's crazy, dude. It's just like
Or like you like Dave Grohl. You know that one girl? She's like, I don't know, like a 10-year-old girl, and she's like a really awesome drummer.
the drummer.
And she goes back and
Nanny.
is that her name?
Yeah,
Yeah.
She goes back
British.
and forth with like Dave Grohl and some other like big names and stuff.
and blew up.
I'm like, shit. I
She's
wish
probably
my
got
parents would have
sponsors
just
and
put a
all sorts of
camera while I
shit.
was practicing, and maybe something would happen.
Exactly. So I think it's a good time to kind of jump into what we like to do as like a kind of a topic for the second half of the show. And this topic's kind of cheesy, but the topic itself,
You said that on
the topic is
Cheesesteaks.
Well, that's part of it. But
that's part of it.
it's just, I
Is
can
the
see
great
he was trying to get in there, and he was trying to set himself up.
fucked it up. Is the great city of Philadelphia.
Okay.
Oh, I love Philly.
We all love Philly. I was not born and raised in Philadelphia, but right outside, 10 minutes away.
Again,
in
we're
Cherry
over
Hill.
the bridge. I mean, we're
You kind of melt in there
we're,
a little
we're,
bit.
We're step siblings to Philadelphia.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. So, the first question is the most obvious question. What's your favorite cheesesteak spot, man?
We're gonna judge you pretty hard on this today.
Yeah. So, not a Pat's or Gino's guy. Right?
That's a good answer.
I mean, like when you're drunk and you need something to eat and you're in South Philly, like that's where you'll go.
Of course,
you get a McDonald's, it's gonna taste like a filet mignon.
Sure. Being from like Roxborough, East Falls, D'Alessandro's for the
100%.
longest time was the shit. However, I can't do that line anymore.
Yo, you know how across the street there's Chubby's?
That's where I go.
You go to D'Alessandro's, the line's too long. You look across the street, Chubby's. There's like one person. Fuck it,
Yeah.
and you just go to
And look, they're nicer in there. They let you pay with a credit debit card.
They do.
They also have a
That's key.
full functioning bar. You
They
can
do.
actually sit in there and like be comfortable and
That's nice.
that's my spot. Chubby's is my spot now.
Chubby's falls by the wayside to a lot of
Yeah.
people.
I don't
I
think I've
respect that. I respect that you even said it. And it's Chubby's with an IE, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it might be dumb. It might be dumb to be like Chubby's. Why? Apostrophe S.
I've never had Chubby's before, so I'll have to.
It's a cheesesteak. It tastes like a cheesesteak.
It's good. It's good.
I got you. I mean, there's definitely shitty cheesesteak spots around. But
Nah, Chubby's is still good.
I don't think it's
a good
shitty.
cheesesteak.
I've always heard like somebody from D'Alessandro's basically went across the street and was like, I'm the rival guy now, So same ingredients.
So you ever watch Bob's Burgers?
Oh,
It's
dude.
like Jimmy Pesto across the street.
I love that show. So like, what do you think, in your humble opinion, makes Philadelphia so great?
It's the music scene.
Yeah.
That's what I live and breathe. That's all I really know about. So can only really speak to how great the music scene is locally, on a venue basis. Just like, there's tons of places to play, no matter what level you're at, and hopefully they're still going to be alive and here after COVID. But
yeah, that's the big thing. If they're just going to be still here, like you ever play the Voltage Lounge? Yeah, it's that one right next to. I'm gonna call it the Electric Factory till I die. I don't give a crap what it's called now, but they had a big thing online just to say that and taking donations and bro, I'm ready to just donate to every venue because I just want them to still be there when we're ready to go.
Exactly. And it's little venues. I mean, they're not even that little. I guess they definitely have a pretty decent name, but like it's venues like that they just give a lot of opportunity to different bands to come in and they do like a lot of deathcore shows and like hardcore shows there, more than your average venue, I'd say.
I believe Post Malone played there before he kind of blew up. And I don't know if you know the Dirty Nil. That's a great modern rock band, actually.
The Dirty Nail?
Nil, N-I-L.
N-I-L?
Yeah. They played there too, so
let's check them out.
It's a great starter place that kind of bridges the gap from like, once you sell out this room, you can move on to the next place. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
and the same thing with the staff too. I know Sean, and all the Live Nation folks would kind of come through and be like, "Hey, your production coordinator did a pretty good job tonight. What's his name? Let me get him into the Fillmore tonight." So it's a stepping stool for a lot of different reasons.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Got to pay your dues, bro.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, Justin, you want to like add to what your favorite part of Philly is? Yeah.
I mean, Philly is just like, I'm very, very sensitive. Like I am. I'm what?
I don't know.
Let me hold on.
He started laughing.
He started. No, like I'm a sensitive dude. I take things to like heart and stuff. But it's like in Philly, I could get made fun of. I could be like, "Yo, you stupid fuck!" Like, and the thing is, like, even if it like whatever said to me, it's like just said in like the most dipshit like mean way. I don't know, like, I'm a very sensitive dude, but even in Philly, I just know, like, that dude's watching my back.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's
like being a dick about it, but he's watching, like, I don't know, like, so in Philly, like, that city of brotherly love, that doesn't mean everyone's nice. It doesn't mean everyone,
at all.
But it means it's just like, all right, let me show you how to do it right. Like, it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, dude, I love Philadelphia. I'm going to die in Philadelphia. I have every intention of just taking my last breath in that city. The cool things about Philly are also like the things that are just easily made fun. Like Broad Street. Broad Street's a shit show.
Yeah.
But it's our shit show.
Exactly.
Like, remember when everyone hated Gritty when he first came out? Everyone's like,
absolutely
what the fuck is that
him.
thing?
And
even us, even like Philadelphians, were like, dude, what is that? But then the second someone made fun of him, it's like,
love it.
This works.
No, you're not gonna make fun of our fucking net. Like, it's just
Philadelphians
have
an inferior complex.
Yes.
Like they need to be the underdog in almost every situation.
Yeah, like the Eagles could have won 4 Super Bowl. It's like, we're going back. You don't think we could even do this?
Yeah.
Exactly.
We won last year. What are we talking about?
Or like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna talk about that Super Bowl win until I'm dead. Because it's like, yo, I don't care, Tom Brady, this, that. I don't care. Like, where was everyone the year of Super Bowl 52?
Yeah,
everyone just stopped playing and let us win. No, that didn't happen.
That's right. That's right.
The mentality, that Philly mentality, that is the great, because you don't even have to be in the city to have it. Once you're there and you know it,
it bleeds into
it
all the surrounding
bleeds
areas.
orange during the Flyer season, green during the Eagles seasons, bro.
Yeah, that's real shit. Like one of the, I think I was.
Your next question, or one of the shittier things?
You gotta have both
There's
sides of
none.
the spectrum.
None, you dickhead.
There you go.
The shittiest thing is everyone just wants to go to the Big Apple when they come to America. That's the shitty part.
No, I feel like on the outside view, me and a buddy of mine, Kenny, went to California a couple years back, and we were walking around and we were trying to find some weed, and
Cool.
we were in Anaheim. We were like Disney Central, just like a whole bunch of like families and shit, and it was our first night there, and we met this kid who was skateboarding like home or something like that, and we're just like, it's like 9:00 at night, and we're just like, yo, dude,
Did you whisper to the kid and creep him out?
Yeah, no, we stopped him. The funny thing is he had like they were just regular headphones in, and this dude was like flying, and we kind of like waved him down. Didn't really expect him to stop. This dude like skidded out and like jumped out of his board, and he's like, "Yo, like what's up? Like what's going on?" And I'm like, is there anywhere like you could get us some weed? We're like not from here, and he was just like, "Yeah, man, hold on." And he's like, "How much you got?" And I was like, "I think we got like $40 or $50." And we're like, "Whatever this can get us," because he was like, "Oh, I can just go down to the dispensary for you. It's like a mile and a half down the road." And we're like, "Well, he's like, they close in 20 minutes, but he's like, I can make it in 15. He's like, "I got you." And it was kind of weird. And I looked at Kenny, and Kenny's like, "Oh no, dude, he's probably just gonna take our money and dip."
He's gonna dip, right?
So he's looking at us. He's like, "You guys think I'm gonna take your money and leave, right?" He's like, "We don't do that here." He's like, "Here, take my hoodie." So he takes his hoodie off. Gives us his hoodie. He's like
as collateral?
Yeah, he's like, "Just wait right here, man." He's like, "I'll be back in like 25 minutes." And I'm like, "All right." So we sat there, and it only took 20 minutes, and he came back, and he's like, "Yeah, man, that's how we do it around here."
That would have never happened.
That's what I'm saying,
Fly.
And he was,
you remember when that robot came to Philly and instantly the robot that made it all through Canada, and then he comes
like a
to Philly,
hitchhiking robot.
and then he lasted like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and he got fucked up.
we beat the shit out of it.
That's great. That kid he gave you his sweater's collateral.
I wish I got his name. I wish I could go back and thank him because that was like our first
that
night
kid,
there.
I hope he has good karma because that is an OG. That's
what I'm saying. He's like, "Oh,
awesome.
you guys think I'm gonna leave? Like,
that's
here,
awesome,
take my
friend.
shit, and just sit there." And he was asking us like where we were from, and we were like, "Oh, we just said Philly because it's just easier."
Yeah.
Sometimes people like Jersey, Jersey Shore, that type shit.
Well, because everyone who's never been to Jersey thinks everyone's like
exactly. So he was just like, he's like, "Man, I hear you guys are a bunch of assholes over there." And we're like, kind of, but like we're assholes with like love. I said, "We're nice guys," I was like,
you have to get it,
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, man. Philly's it's this weird like melting pot of a lot of different aspects of life, and I just think it really is a great place. And for the people that listen that aren't from the area, I thought that maybe we could just liven it up.
We're not all bad.
Exactly. And
dude, I was talking to this dude, Mike. He's from the UK. He helps like just promotional dusty stuff. He's a cool dude. So we were just making fun of each other's lingo, just in conversation, because he said holiday, but meant like vacation. And I'm like, "Yo, that's kind of funny because we don't say that here." And he's like, "Yeah, we don't say gnarly or rad here." I said, "That sucks that you don't say gnarly or rad." I'm like, "That sucks." Those are my favorite words. But then,
Where is he from?
He's from the United Kingdom, the UK.
Well, yeah, like London or
I don't know. I don't know geography.
the United
He's
Kingdom.
from the place. But the one thing, and then we'll go on. Sorry, but I just
that are united.
I was like, "Yeah, just start saying John over there and make it make John a thing." And he's like, and he texts, he writes me back, "Jay went, is it pronounced like John, the name, or so?" He says something. So I get on the video, John, oh no, and he's like, "Bro, your voice sounds," or he said something. "Your voice sounds not like your singing voice, dude." Or he said something like that.
Wait, did he say you had an accent?
Or yeah, he said
I've got
something.
called out on that myself, which surprised me. I don't know. There's like 2012. I won an Instagram contest for like a Dragon Ball Z fan page. It's a long story.
I thought you were gonna say the Vanilla Ice.
Gnarly.
And like I ended up like winning this. It was like a Dragon Ball. This kid was gonna send me. He had his own page, and he's like, you won, and he's like, "Could you just do me a favor and like send me a video of you shouting out the page and like that kind of thing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So like he puts it up like the next day, and all the comments were like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy's accent?" And I'm from South Jersey, you know what I'm saying? I don't even think it's that serious. And like I'm talking like 25 to 30 comments were all just making fun of the way I talked. And
really?
it's just a 15-second quick like, "Yeah,
How you doing?
Yeah, like I'm stoked. Don't fucking
hoagies.
get
Yo,
this
can someone
shit. Like,
tell Rocky to go take a nap?
yeah, dude, it's like, all right. But
Thanks for the Dragon Ball.
exactly. Yeah, dude. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
I do that every day
All
at
day.
work.
Wake up in the morning, I see Blaze, and I'm just like, what's up, dog?
Yeet.
But all right, so the good things.
Reel
of
us
Philly.
back in.
Let's reel back in. What are some, when we're saying this with love, what are some of the not so nice things about Philadelphia?
The things we can
think of?
improve on.
Yes, there you go.
Oh, that was very like political.
Political, yes, yeah.
Fucking potholes.
Yeah.
Be
The
cool.
roads.
Oh. It's worse when you hit one and you just feel it in your asshole.
No, well, the thing is, I think you love the city so much you can't think of anything.
No, there's nothing really. I mean, like, look, you get the good with the bad with everything. If you're talking about music, you know, it's overpopulated. There's a lot of bands. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to be relevant when there's so much music out there. But I don't really think of that as a bad thing. So I don't know why I said that. But you know, it could be
tough.
competitive.
Yeah,
you know.
tough, yeah.
Why? What do you? When you wrote this question, what was the shitty thing you were thinking about of Philadelphia?
The shitty thing I was thinking of was like going back to someone like just. I don't know. People just call you out in the street for no fucking reason. Like it's just happened.
Like you're just
times.
walking.
Yeah, dude. You know, I'm just like,
all
right, dude. You know, like
I've
what?
definitely been on Broad Street, and again, I say this just from the truth of the story. Just yo, white boy, what the?
Yeah.
You know, like I've gotten like because I'm on,
happens.
like just working, throwing away trash, and I'd be like I'd literally be in like my
fuck
work outfit
you.
with like a thing of trash, just like I'm not bothering a fucking soul in the world, brother. You know?
My favorite Broad Street story is clearly this man had some like mental health issues and he was going crazy, right? Just broad daylight. There was construction workers working on the top of like this building, and this dude needed help. Like he was going nuts, and they're like, "Hey, you down there, you crazy master!" Like just you know, like really just like.
With that voice, that southern like twang.
Well, that was my that was my Philly accent. It merges into other accents, but yeah, you know, it's a pro and a con, right? Like if you're blind Joe. Like you know what I mean? Like we call it like it is.
Yeah,
and that's
like,
it.
Like your biggest
your biggest downfall is who you are. And it's your name now too.
Yeah. See,
if you're fat Mike. You know, like that's
when
it.
the brotherly love, when the love kind of it starts to be getting mean. Some people, I guess, don't know that line.
Yeah, it's
so I guess
love.
some of that. So you know, but overall,
it's
is
just
that.
busting balls. At the
Exactly,
end.
Yeah,
it's exactly what it is.
And that's a lesson I didn't learn until I was older, and it was thank God for Philadelphia for teaching me that not everyone who's busting your balls is being a dick about it.
Yeah.
They're just busting your balls. I mean, it's,
Exactly,
you know.
and it's funny because every once in a while, I mean, especially like you come across someone who's like not that it's just not used to that kind of treatment.
Atmosphere,
Yeah, you know, and like I literally grow up and just my balls are busted nonstop, dude, from the age of 7.
No more balls left.
I got no more fucking balls left.
It's like,
And
I
like
lost the feeling. You can pound them all you want, but I ain't gonna bat an eye.
Exactly, dude. It's just I don't know, man. I love this area.
I'd rather have blue balls because then I at least feel them.
That's right. Exactly. Philly's cool. Come down here.
No, it's great. It's
Yeah,
great.
come
You
over.
should come down. If you're a band not from this area, you should come on the
Exactly.
podcast. And
We'll welcome you with open arms. So I got a kind of interesting one. What are some like hidden gems that you know of?
I do like this one. Actually.
That are kind of on the hush hush, but are like really cool spots. It could be like a venue, bar, restaurant, that kind of thing. A library. I don't know.
I don't know if I know any libraries. Vault and Vine or Vine and Vault. It's in East Falls. That just came to my mind. It's a flower shop actually, but like you might bust my balls after this, but like literally the most beautiful flowers I've ever seen.
Nice flowers on the East Coast,
Bro, I don't like this toxic masculinity, bro. If someone gave me a flower that smelled good and was pretty, I'd be appreciative as shit. No one's ever given me a pretty flower.
I'll tell you what. I like to light fucking candles in my room.
All right, well,
I don't give a shit.
we were talking about flowers.
Flowers. You said toxic masculinity.
I'm just like, bro,
You busted my balls.
bro, I burned incense. Like, it's fine.
I don't go that far. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's also a coffee shop in there. So yeah,
Like
great
those
spot.
Philly coffee shops where they'll have like a cat walking or dog walking around. I love those.
Yeah,
like a
like
small,
the homie
pop-
kind of things.
Yeah.
All right, here's a really good hidden gem is I keep going back to Broad Street because I spent the last year working there, but Sonny's Diner. It's
I've
simple.
Definitely heard of that place.
Egg and cheese on rye toast. It was only $1.75. I used to go there. I used to get that and a can of soda. It was like $3.60 something, 80 something.
That's
I give them just
beautiful.
a solid $5. Give them a little dollar tip. Not major. Awesome.
It's beautiful.
Awesome, man.
Shout out to.
I asked the one girl out one day and she said no.
Damn.
Her name was Nicole.
Yeah, damn.
It's okay. Give me writing material.
There you go.
for my indie sad boy songs that Kevin doesn't like.
And the title's gonna be like,
I gave you $1 tip.
I gave you
it's longer. It's got to be longer.
one of those like 5-sentence titles.
Nicole, I only tipped you $1. You gave me nothing in return.
This is a bonus track, by the way. Bonus track.
It better be so bonus it doesn't make the record.
It doesn't make.
I don't know if I have any hidden gems.
Yeah, you don't have like a spot
I'm a
in Philly
fraud,
that
dude.
might not have a.
I mean, I've been to a couple like, man, there's this one. It's like a bar. It's in South Philly.
Hidden Cafe?
Nah, I kind of want to say it's called the Raven Lounge or something like that. It's this really weird bar that I went to a couple times with some friends back.
Is it a regular bar or a hookah bar?
It's like a row home, and you go in and like there's all these different floors to it. And
is it just a door that you walk in?
Yeah, you go in through the basement, and then there's like this small 15-person bar there, and then they have a couple pool tables and like 3 like high tables that you can sit at, and then you go upstairs into the living room, and then there's like a 25-person bar, and then they got like a small like dance space or something like that, and then you
I was totally there. I know exactly.
It's like this really weird.
I think I was there for my sister's birthday one year.
You might have, because Pam and Marie and all them, like back when I was going out and drinking with them.
Nothing to do with Pam Marie, but yeah, I got you.
You know Pam.
Yeah, I know Pam.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But anyway, I just thought that was just like the coolest, like little weird, just
little gem, man.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of maybe what.
Bro,
like,
at South Street had I don't know if it's still there. I used to go there when I was like 18, 19, but they had a hidden hookah bar. It was called the Hidden Cafe, and it was literally like, you know, their shop. And, you know, sometimes shop, there'll be a door. You think it's a woman's apartment.
Yeah.
And it was just a door.
Little speakeasy.
It was just a door, and it was open, but, like, no one ever thinks that, like, and it's, you go up all these stairs, black lights like crazy, and just fancy hookah bar. It's so gnarly.
Damn, Hidden
but
Cafe?
It was cool. Hidden Cafe, again, but I haven't been there in 2010, you know?
Damn.
So I don't even know if it's still there, but that was pretty sick.
So if you could describe the vibe of Philadelphia in general to the people that don't know, what would you sum it up as?
I think we covered it all.
Yeah, like ball busting,
yeah,
brothy love. So
I guess so.
Yeah,
I guess we kind of did cover that.
Yeah, we're coming down the wire where it's like some
shitty
conversation. These questions, they might, you know,
bleed into each other.
Yeah, it kind of like bleeds through.
Well, I fucked that up. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, this has been pretty good overall. You could talk about Philly all day, and
man.
You know,
one of the greatest memories I've ever had was I was 13 or 12, and I got to take off on Go Skate Day, and I went with these 2 kids that were like a couple years older than me, and we decided to go to Philly for Go Skate Day, and like I had to tell my mom I was taking the train, like it was like a approved thing, and it was like, you know, for me it was a big deal. So I slept over at a boy's house, and then we got up really early in the morning to the Patco and got out 8th and Market. And, like, the amount of, like, people that were there and skating, like, all throughout Center City, to me as a young buck, I was just like, yo, it blew my fucking mind. Like, straight up, like, all these people were just skating at Love Park, and there's, like, the Hydrant Gap, and, like, all these, like, everyone's hanging out in Nocturnal Skate Shop, and
oh my God, is that still open?
That's still around. Yeah.
Is that really? I remember that.
It moved from where it used to be. I think it's closer to South Street.
I remember going
now.
to Nocturnal. Like, I remember that.
Yeah.
I skated for a very small. It was like back in the day. It's like if you wanted to be like a punk kid, you either had to skate or you had to play in a punk band.
Yeah.
Or, you know, then some people could do both.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not coordinated. I can't skate. I was always chubby. I can't kickflip, none of that crap. So I played music, not well either, but I mean, I at least stuck with that one. You had to do one or the other.
No, but like, you know, at one point I was sitting there at Love Park and I was just soaking it in. I was like, this is why Philly's the shit. Like, really, like, people are grabbing onto the back of taxis, cruising down Market Street, and like all this like chaos. And
you had a little moment there.
I had a moment. It really, and like it just stuck with me all these years later. I actually haven't gone back to Philly for Go Skate Day since, because I kind of stopped skating a little bit after that. But
well, you were meant to have that one
moment,
man. That's all it is.
Exactly. And I don't know, man. I just love the area. I love the people.
And then
around
Tony
here.
Hawk came from like the horizon.
Hey, do a kickflip.
Kickflip over every. Exactly. Those videos give me such joy.
Yeah.
Because like he'll roll up to someone,
yeah,
and then like it'll be like, I actually think it's cooler when it's an older dude than a younger kid.
Yeah, I don't think the younger kids know who he is.
Like really
No, for the most part.
But it'd be like there'd be like through a dude just like skating like by himself, and like he'll do be like, holy fuck, and then like he'll like get on.
I'll do 10.
You know? And then every time you land one, he gives you something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He
like
gives
a
you like
shirt or a
beats, like
board.
$100 headphones or something.
Shout out to Tony Hawk. Man.
Yeah,
He's
Tony
getting-
Hawk. Tony Hawk is to skateboarding what Dave Grohl is to rock music.
Yeah.
I'm saying it right there.
That's a good
He's
one.
just that's the epitome of what you should be when you get there.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's thing of getting there is different, but like,
Yeah.
they have it.
Absolutely.
Tony Hawk, Dave Grohl,
Tony Hawk's kids are shredding now too. They're
Riley
both-
Hawk.
Yeah,
he's
he's
dope
like
too.
good.
Yeah,
He's like
I
the
think he's
face
on-
of Birdhouse right now.
yeah. Was he on? No, he's on Baker.
Is he on
He
Baker?
was on Baker for a while.
Damn, see, I'm out of the loop, man.
Yeah, I know,
Shit.
man.
Damn.
I had that Flip video. Remember that when Flip Skateboards released that DVD?
Yeah.
Rod or was it Jeff
Raleigh.
Jeff Raleigh, yeah.
Mm.
I remember that era. I remember spending like $60 on that fucking DVD.
I bought one of DVD. I bought a
It was
DVS.
expensive.
Yeah, $60 for like an hour worth of footage. Rest in peace, the skateboarding days. But anyway, so Kev, any more? You want to just plug your stuff in one more time? I
Yeah,
think
give
it's
us the plug. More,
Yeah,
Kev. Sorry,
yeah.
we kind of went off the
No,
rails.
no, it was fun. I had a good conversation. Yeah, playing with this rock and roll band called Andorra. You should check it out. Coming out with a documentary in a couple months. Little mini 2-part kind of thing about the history of the band. And we're going to be in the studio pretty soon, writing and recording a new record in the theme of boogie blues rock. So it's our next venture. And we have all the songs pretty much written. We just kind of got to do the thing now. So, yeah, be on the lookout for it.
Awesome.
Cool.
Are we going to be seeing that on like YouTube or?
Yeah, it'll be everywhere you need to consume it.
Consume it.
It'll be
All right.
there.
It'll be there.
All right, man. Well, like I said, thanks again for coming
Kev,
all this
thanks
way
for
to come
coming
talk
on,
to
dude.
us.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
this was
Thank you
awesome,
so
man.
much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. We had a good talk. All right, everyone. Have a good week. We'll see you next week.
Next week.